Let's talk about Rocky Mountain National Park. Just picture it for a second. You're standing on a mountaintop, looking out over this incredible landscape that was literally carved by glaciers and is just steeped in history. That's the magic of this place, and we're about to dive into its amazing story.
I mean, it is a place of just breathtaking beauty. It's no wonder it's consistently one of the most visited national parks in the entire country. But don't let that peaceful scenery fool you. The journey from a remote, wild place to a national icon, well, that's a story of conflict, passion, and change that's just as dramatic as the landscape itself.
So, what is it? What's the secret sauce? What draws millions and millions of people here year after year? What's the magnetic pull of these mountains?
Well, it's not just one thing. It's this incredible story that weaves together these massive geological forces, the absolute stubborn passion of one man, and, get this, the invention of the automobile, which would completely change how we experience nature forever.
Even way back in 1869, long before it was officially a park, a writer named Samuel Bowles totally saw its future. He called this place the Switzerland of America and said it would become the pleasure ground and health home of the nation. And wow, was he right on the money. To really get this park, we have to go back. Way back. Let's start with the colossal forces that literally built this incredible landscape from the ground up.
Okay, so the park's creation story basically happened in 3 epic acts. First, about 1.7 billion years ago, this ancient mountain range pops up, only to get completely worn down to nothing. Then, round 2 starts about 75 million years ago with this huge geological event that pushes the modern Rockies sky high. But the final touch, the dramatic sculpting, that was all done by massive glaciers during the ice ages.
And you can see the handiwork of those glaciers everywhere. You see, rivers tend to cut these sharp, V-shaped valleys. But when you have a massive sheet of ice, maybe thousands of feet thick, grinding through rock, it just bulldozes the landscape, carving out these broad, majestic, U-shaped valleys that are just a signature of the park.
And all this crazy elevation change creates these different ecosystems basically stacked right on top of each other. As you climb, you're literally journeying through different worlds. You start in the lush forests of the montane zone, then you go up into the dense fir and spruce of the subalpine, and finally, you pop out above the tree line into the alpine tundra, a breathtaking, almost alien landscape where life is just clinging on in the toughest conditions.
So for a long, long time, before it was a park with roads and trails everywhere, this place was seen as this remote, almost mythical, untouched wilderness. Just look at this contrast, it's amazing. On the one hand, you have the vast, complex wilderness as it was mapped in 1915. And on the other, that's the town of Estes Park in 1903. Just a tiny little cluster of buildings. It really shows you what a small human footprint there was in this massive, untamed landscape.
For thousands of years, this was a seasonal hunting ground for Native American tribes, like the Ute and Arapaho. And the first pioneers who settled here, people like Joel Estes, they were drawn by that same incredible beauty, but also had to deal with this deep, profound isolation, especially during those brutal winters.
But everything was about to change. At the turn of the 20th century, 2 powerful new forces came crashing into this isolated valley, a man with an unshakable vision and a revolutionary new machine.
So on one side, you've got Enos Mills. He's this naturalist who fought for years to protect this land, earning him the nickname Father of the Park. And on the other side, you've got F.O. Stanley, the guy who co-invented the Stanley Steamer automobile. He came for his health, but he saw huge potential for tourism. These 2 guys kind of represent this fundamental tension that's still around today, preservation versus access. And things happened fast. Really fast. Stanley's steam car proved that automobiles could actually tame these rugged mountain roads. His fancy new hotel created a destination. And with Mills campaigning like crazy and Stanley making the place easier to get to, the movement to create a national park just gained unstoppable momentum.
Which brought them to a question that they had to face then, and one we are absolutely still facing today. It's really the central challenge of the entire national park system. How do you build a park for the people without destroying the very thing they came to see in the first place?
And that question brings us right to the park as we know it today, and the legacy of that whole founding compromise. Just look at that number. Over 4 million people, every single year. That's just staggering. And it shows you just how successful the park has become. A true pleasure ground for the nation, just like that writer Bowles predicted more than 150 years ago.
So what are all those people doing? This visitor data is actually fascinating. With all the distractions we have today, the overwhelming majority come for the simple things, just looking at the incredible scenery and going for a day hike. It really boils down to that raw, basic connection to natural beauty.
And that gets right back to the park's core mission, right? The whole goal is to protect the very experiences people come here for, to make sure that the fragile alpine tundra, the wild animals, and that profound sense of peace and beauty are still here for the next generation and the one after that.
So we kind of end where we began, with that fundamental question. With visitor numbers climbing all the time, that challenge first faced by Enos Mills and F.O. Stanley is more urgent than ever. The future of this incredible place, and others like it, really depends on how we, all of us, choose to answer it.